Have you ever wondered why your dog licks you? Maybe it happens when you come home after a long day. Maybe it happens when you're relaxing on the couch. Or sometimes your dog suddenly walks over and starts licking your hands, your face, or even your feet. Most people assume they know the answer. They think it's simple. Dogs lick people because they love them, because it's their version of a kiss. But what if that's only part of the story? Because when dogs lick their owners, something much deeper might actually be happening. Something connected to instinct, communication, and thousands of years of evolution between dogs and humans. Dogs don't speak the way humans do. They don't use words. Instead, they communicate through behavior, through small signals, through actions that carry meaning. And licking is one of the most powerful signals dogs use. Which means when your dog licks you, they might actually be saying something many dog owners completely miss. To understand what licking really means, we need to start at the very beginning of a dog's life, because the story begins long before your dog ever met you. 1. It begins when they are puppies. When puppies are born, they enter the world completely dependent on their mother. They cannot hunt. They cannot survive on their own. Every part of their early life revolves around their mother and the safety she provides. During this stage, puppies begin developing behaviors that will later become part of their communication system. One of those behaviors is licking. Puppies lick their mother's mouth and face. At first, this behavior serves a practical purpose. In wild canine families, puppies lick their mother's mouth to encourage her to regurgitate food. But something else is happening at the same time. The puppies are learning how to interact with members of their group. They are learning that licking is a way to communicate, a way to show trust, a way to express submission, a way to strengthen social bonds. Over time, licking becomes deeply connected to feelings of safety and connection. So when dogs grow older and begin living with humans, that same instinct doesn't disappear. Instead, it simply transfers to a new member of their pack, you. Which means when your dog licks you, part of that behavior may still come from those early puppy instincts. But puppy instinct is only one piece of the puzzle, because licking also plays another role in a dog's emotional life. 2. Licking can be a sign of affection. Dogs form extremely strong emotional bonds with the people they trust. For many dogs, their owner becomes the center of their world. And just like humans use physical gestures to express affection, dogs do the same. They lean against you, they follow you from room to room, they rest their head on your lap. And yes, they lick you. When dogs lick their owners during calm moments, something interesting happens inside both the dog's brain and the human brain. A hormone called oxytocin is released. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It plays a major role in relationships between parents and children. It strengthens trust and emotional connection. Researchers have discovered that eye contact and physical interaction between dogs and humans can trigger this same hormone. Which means when your dog licks you during a calm, affectionate moment, it may actually be strengthening the emotional bond between the two of you. But affection isn't the only reason dogs lick their owners, because dogs also use licking as a way to gather information about the world around them. 3. They are studying you. Dogs experience the world very differently than humans. Humans rely heavily on sight. Dogs rely heavily on smell. A dog's sense of smell is estimated to be tens of thousands times stronger than a human's, which means your dog can detect chemical signals we can't even imagine. Your skin carries scent, sweat, tiny traces of things you've touched during the day. When a dog licks your skin, they're not only tasting, they're collecting information. Your dog might learn where you've been, whether you've interacted with other animals, even subtle changes in your emotional state. To a dog, licking can be a way of reading a story written in scent. Which means sometimes when your dog licks you, they're not just showing affection, they're studying you. But there's another reason dogs lick their owners, and it's something dogs learn very quickly. 4. It gets your attention. Dogs are extremely intelligent when it comes to learning which behaviors work. They constantly experiment with different actions, and when a behavior produces a positive response, they remember it. Think about what usually happens when your dog licks you. You might laugh, you might talk to them, you might pet them. You might even reward them with attention or play. From your dog's perspective, something important just happened. Their behavior created interaction, and interaction with you is one of the most valuable rewards in your dog's life. So over time, many dogs learn something simple. If I lick my human, they respond. Which means licking can become a strategy, a way to start interaction, a way to say, hey, pay attention to me. But licking can also happen during moments when a dog feels uncertain, and that's where another explanation appears. 5. Licking can relieve stress. Dogs sometimes lick when they feel anxious or overwhelmed. This behavior is known as a calming signal. It helps dogs regulate their emotions. You may notice this in situations where your dog feels unsure, when strangers enter the house, when there are loud noises, when tension appears in the environment. In those moments, licking may help the dog calm themselves down. It's similar to how humans sometimes tap their fingers, pace around, or fidget when they feel nervous. Licking releases small amounts of soothing chemicals in the brain, which means it can literally help the dog feel calmer. But sometimes the explanation is much simpler. 6. You taste interesting. Human skin naturally contains salt, especially after physical activity or warm weather. Dogs are curious animals, and sometimes licking is simply about taste. They notice the salt on your skin, they become curious, and they explore. It's not emotional, it's not communication, it's simply curiosity. But even when taste plays a role, the deeper connection between humans and dogs remains important, because most dogs choose very specific people to lick. They don't lick everyone, they lick the people they trust. Which leads to the final and most meaningful explanation, final insight. Dogs communicate with the humans they love in many ways, through body language, through attention, through behaviors that carry deep instinctive meaning, and licking is one of those behaviors. Sometimes it's affection, sometimes curiosity, sometimes communication, sometimes simply habit, but in many cases it's also something deeper, a reminder of the unique bond between humans and dogs. Because when your dog licks you, they're not just reacting, they're interacting, they're communicating, and in their own way, they're expressing trust in the person they consider their family.